Hey guys, I'm Cecilia and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Single Parents Talk Show. And guys, today I'm here with a single parent of two. Amepoteza mtoto wake mmoja due to negligence of the school at Meru County. I think some people know Meru. Yeah, and guys, it's a very painful story. Let's hear from the mother. Sasa mami.
Poa sana.
Unaitwa nani?
I'm Priscilla Wanjiro Hinga. I'm the firstborn of our family. And my son was my firstborn. His name is Sebastian Joroge Wanjiro. Yeah.
Okay. Kwanza unaweza tuelezea ulijipata aje wewe ni single mom?
It's been a long, it's like 10 years back. I was married. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I stayed in a marriage for 3 years. I left with the young son, 6 months old. Well, the one who is normal was around 3 years.
Okay.
And since then, we never communicated with their dad.
Okay.
I just left and came back to my family. I tried to work here and there to make ends meet. And in 2012, one of my friends told me there are ways you can get out of the country and go to Lebanon. I first went to Lebanon in 2012. I worked there for 2 years. Then I came back. I stayed a whole year in 2014. I came back 2014 and I stayed the whole of 2014 here. In 2015, then I started planning to leave again. I went to the border of Lebanon and Israel. I worked there for the past 5 years then. I came back in COVID time, 2020. That's when I came back. And my kids were in boarding school in 2022. I transferred them to a day school around because they were sitting their exams.
Okay.
So, and actually we can at least bond. And by then, in 2020 when I came back, my mom got sick. I have to attend her nowadays. Like December last year, she went under a second surgery for her arm. Lakini mimi nimeishi kuangalia boma, making things, milking, farming, all that. And I've been taking care of my sons. I have dedicated my life to support my kids because I have no one to look after. And yeah, I thank my parents for their good support system. Maana wakati nilikuwa nje, they stayed with my children. They lacked nothing. I appreciate them so much. Though it's painful, Sebastian was a very kind-hearted young man. Actually, if he could have come back this holiday, he could have graduated to be a Sunday school teacher. He loved God. He served God. He was the role model for the young cousin and his younger brother. So,
Okay.
that's how it is. On Wednesday, 17th October 2023, I received a call from a secretary and matron. And they told me my son is sick. That was 11:47, the call I received. They tried to call me 11:44. I missed the call. In 3 minutes, I was with my phone. I picked the call and talked. After that, 12:05, the class teacher called me and informed me I should go to school and pick the boy. He's very sick, though they have taken him to a hospital, which I have come to realize they didn't even take him in a hospital. They just forged papers to pretend they tried to help save my son's life. And it's very devastating in a private hospital that being bribed to speak the truth, to speak lies. Well, the lie is being concerning someone's life. It's very bad, because money can't be valued with the life of a person. Yeah. Like that Tenley hospital, I'm so disappointed with that hospital because they were bribed. I know it. Let me say that God usually talks to me. It may seem crazy, but my guts never rise to myself. Okay. Of all the pretense, the class teacher told me that the first call to explain I asked what happened to my son. She told me he was playing in a field and he was hit his leg by a ball. Unfortunately, not the same case, as the principal took me in a pub to break the news that my son is normal. He said that my son were in a parade singing praise and worship. My son went back to school healthy. Term 3. I did his shopping. I used to, if he could have closed by now, I could have figured out where to find money and pay the school fees for January. I paid the school fees, and when they went back to school, we were asked to buy the printing papers, and I bought the best one, the JK copier. That's what I bought, because they said the other papers are not good for printing. And I talked with one of the accountants there, and he took a picture of my son. I talked with my son. He was requesting me to pay for a trip they were to go. I told him, for now, I don't have money, but before the trip comes, I will find some money and I send for you to go for that trip. He was happy. He was okay. He never complained about the school. And actually, that school is where our second born sister schooled. It was a very nice school, and still the school is good, but the management and administration, I think it's the worst ever. I appreciate Principal Deke because he did a great job in that school. But now, the people who are handed over the school, I think they don't have humanity or compassion, because there is no way you can keep a sick kid in a dormitory for 5 good days. Even a Panado he doesn't have. And then when the things turns worse, you just run to a private hospital. Well, The referral hospital of Chuka is 20 minutes from school, and that private hospital they are saying they took my son is for like 40 minutes or 35 minutes away from school. To be honest, how could they go to a private school where the UPI of my son is for a government school, because the school is for government? This is not adding up. And the principal has the audacity to tell me that he takes his family there. It's one of the best. I don't care about being the best. I wish they took him to the doctor in a referral hospital. I'd be asked to pay the bills and my son to live.
Okay, wakati mtoto wako alikuwa mgonjwa, walikupigia simu aje? Either walikupigia simu uende Meru ama walikuambia mtoto wako aje? Yani call za shule zilikujaje?
The first phone call, it was 11:44. I missed it. 11:47 I picked the phone call. Mchana sikuwa huku, kwanza nilikuwa nimeenda kutafutia ng'ombe majani na huku chini. And I told the teacher, how is the boy? What is the problem? They said the boy had an accident and the problem is the leg. I asked them, is it broken? They say they have an x-ray, which they don't have. They pretended to take my son to Denver hospital and have an x-ray of chest. And they were saying the problem was the leg. To be sincere, this is not adding up. And I'm praying God, the God my son have been serving, to not rest until his justice to prevail. Even the class teacher had the audacity to tell the other parents, we are ungrateful people who want to tarnish their name. I wonder if she is a mom like I am, but I am praying the God whom I serve and the God whom my son have been serving not to rest until the right to be shed and the truth to come out. And I'm pleading, if any parent in that school have been told what happened by her or his child, just put yourself in my shoes, begging for what has transpired to this, when you know and the child is telling you. And also one more thing I would want to tell the parents. Mine is gone and he will never be back, but yours are still there in that school. If you can't stop the animosity in that school, some other parent, you may find it's your child or someone's child, even you student. If you happen to see this video, put yourself in Sebastian's shoes. For I know if it was me, my son told me this happened to this, I couldn't keep quiet. I could have stood to that parent and fight for the right of the child. Even if it's my child to go and write a statement, I would volunteer myself and take my child for the statement to be written, because the school have negligence and ignorance. How can you? My son got sick Sunday. He waited all day in the reception. The deputy principal could pass him there and ignore him, begging for a phone to call me. I wish he called me that Sunday. And Monday or Tuesday I could have make it before he gets worse. And I know he could be breathing by now. And they ignored him They never gave him a phone. The following Monday he asked as well. When they saw the boy is in much pain, he can't go or move to anywhere. He was remained in the dormitory. That's the time they decided to call me. For sure, which school, in which boarding school, just the matron knows to attend the kids. In that school, there is no qualified nurse. If there was a nurse who could have checked my child's leg, he or she could have referred him to the hospital. But anyway, he's no more. But I will not rest. His soul may rest in peace to my side. But to those who had the time and were capable to save his life, may his soul torment you till the day you go to the grave. Because that is not humanity, or it's animosity. And the principal has the audacity to take me to a spark pub to break the news and tell me you can use anything you want under my bill. Surely, I came all the way from my county to Tarakanidi. I couldn't afford 200 shillings to go and buy some tea for myself. Surely, it's very devastating. But I am praying any human rights organization out there. We parents, we are suffering. Many have died. Many children are dying like flies, and nobody is there to fight for their justice. I pray, if you are a lawyer somewhere and you have that compassion and empathy, and you love to stand for the equality and the right of the human life, try and stand with us, because our children and my son and the other children I have seen in the social media are no more, but there are still children who are breathing, who may succumb to that negligence or anything that is in a school that is not being checked. I'm Jody, high school parents. I know your children have told you what aspired to my son's death. I kindly pray, may the good God touch your soul. And if you can join up and stand and speak with one voice, we can stop the animosity. And actually all you have been told by the class teacher of Form 1 East is a lie. If she can write a message that we are ungrateful people, well, I trusted and I entrusted my child with them. As well, you parent, you are entrusting your children with them. And she has the audacity to say we are ungrateful people, while they knew all they could have done. I wish they took him to Chuka referral and doctors tried and he passed. I could be in peace, but I'll never get peace until the day I'll get justice. The justice will prevail. Even if it will take a century and I'll still be breathing, I will come to know, because there is God in heaven. And I say it again, the God that my son have been serving is the God that I serve to. You have cut short a dream of a reader, a dream of a pastor. Being a single mom, raising these boys around, it haven't been easy. And that's why I've always dedicated myself for them. I'll rather go hungry, but I feed them. But at last, people with animosity in their hearts and trying to turn things that I am the problem. We are ungrateful. Just made my son life to just pass like that.
Pole sana. Okay, I have a question. Between mtoto wako amekufa less than 3 weeks na mshamzika, shule walikuja mazishi ama wale watoto wa shule walipewa ruhusa wakuje wazike classmate?
It's very unfortunate. Kitu cha kwanza cha kushangaza, my boy died on 20th Friday, 10th this month, 2023. I was alone in that place. The school, and I went to the morgue alone. I thank God for His grace and mercy, because it wasn't easy. And that principal gave me a ride to a stage to take the matatu to Nairobi. And I boarded. The driver I went with him in the morning was the same driver I found him going back to Nairobi. I told him what has aspired. He was very remorseful and a very kind man, Mr. Humphrey and Mr. Willie. May God bless you. I came back alone. I found my dad waiting me in Nairobi Center. We took the matatu, we came. After we got here, I got sick. I was taken immediately to the hospital. The following morning, the principal called my mom, asking her, "Did you come to know if the body is maintained good, or what is going on? Have you planned anything we can assist for you, the transfer of the body?" My mom told the principal, "No, we have the report came, the person who had the information arrived here at 7. So today we will gather to plan." But the principal insisted if there are some arrangements, the body can be transferred to the nearby morgue here in our county. And by then, when I went to see my kid in the morgue, I demanded I want to go to the police station. I didn't. When I got there, I wasn't taken to OB. I was taken to an opposite room. I was asked some information, and the principal asked me instantly, "And how can you transfer the body?" I was confused. I said, "By an ambulance." Then he suggested across the road from the police station down the main road, there is someone who can do that job. And something clicked in my mind. I called back my dad and I told my dad, they are telling me to come with the body of my son. My dad told me, just leave there. Don't just come. The rest we will handle. But it was a wish from the principal for me to come the same day with my son's body. Then we came. And after my mom told him that there is a brother to my dad, I appreciate him, Mr. George. He had questions. He wasn't around. He was in a trip. He came back and he found the tent being placed in our compound. Then he came direct and asked my mom what is going on, and my mom told him what had happened. He asked the number of the principal. He called him and told him and asked him what went wrong and what happened. The principal asked him. He had the audacity to tell Mr. George, the grandfather to my son, he is a grandfather to my son. You don't know? Didn't you hear what happened? Then the grandfather to my son asked him, Mr. George asked him, I'm asking these questions because I have a brother in the government who want answers to all the questions that I'm asking. Immediately the principal hung off the phone. And later around 3 in the evening, around 3 to 4 in between there, he called my brother to my dad, Mr. George, and told him, are you in a private place we can speak? When the brother to my dad told him, say what you want, because I tried to question you and you never said anything. So brother to my dad was told that he have been taken in 3 hospitals, which is a lie, I'm very sure. And he tried to justify themselves. They tried all they could, but it wasn't possible, which is that it's not making sense. If the kid is sick, he should remain in the hospital, not to carry the kid back to the dormitory. I don't know what aspired, but I know the God my son have been serving will not let his soul rest until justice comes out. So anyone, any parent, anyone out there who is a parent in this Form 1 East can join us. We can join hands and stop this negligence, because it's not making sense. After checking even my son's box, there wasn't a Panadol. And a woman who has children has the audacity to tell me or to answer to us that she gave the medicine to the boy, which we didn't find. It's so devastating and very unbelievable, because I wish they took him to the general hospital, not those fake private hospitals. Tell me, how could they take my child in general hospital Do they know if I have insurance or not? And pretending they tried all they could. And as you can see, you have read the messages. Are those people remorseful of what happened? Even the parent I have never had even one parent trying to reach out to me to say even ni pole, and it's okay.
So watoto hawakukuja mazishi?
No children came to the funeral.
Hata walimu?
Hata even a teacher, none of them came to the burial or any communication. That last day I got sick and we postponed the funeral. Somebody was loitering in our compound. Somebody we never knew, we have never seen him. And later on, around 6:30, 6:45, he just walked and he never talked to anyone. And after that, the following day, I guess he knew the burial would be on the following day, Friday. That's around 4 in the evening. The principal has the audacity to call my mom, but my mom did not pick the call. If you are me, you will conclude he wanted to know the burial is over.
Yeah.
That he needed to confirm kama tumezika mtoto. But I'm telling you, and anyone out there, parents, mimi siwezi nyamaza mtoto wangu akiniambia mtoto wa mtu anafinyiliwa. I'll rather come and face the mom with my child. But nyinyi ndio mumebaki na watoto huko kwa shule. You may not stand with me, but what goes around still comes around. Na ni kuri Ngai matu-inĩ. That's all I can say.
Okay, it's few days since you buried your son. As remembrance, alikuwa mtoto wa aina gani? Alikuwa mtoto anakaje?
He was a jovial person, very kind-hearted, compassionate person. If you are in trouble, he was selfless person who will assist you in any way he could. And a God-fearing, like I am telling you, if he made it to be here now, he could be promoted to be a Sunday school teacher. And in history, since I knew myself till today, no, I have never seen a child being taken to his burial service in the church. It's always been done in a compound. But my son have left the legacy of the work he has done in church. And I pray my younger son to follow his brother's footsteps. And I pray my son to always watch over us. Because it's not easy. And it will not be easy. But I know God who makes a way where seems to be no way will stand in this gap, and justice will prevail, because he is a living God, and a God God will never be bribed. Human beings can be bribed, but God, he will never be bribed. The soul of my son went just like a flash, but I know the God who was using him and the God who he was serving will stand for his justice. not me. I have no power. I can try my best, but without God, it can't happen.
Yeah, I have this last one question. So after mtoto wako ameenda shule third term, wakati ako mgonjwa hakukuambia the pain he's going through, hakukuambia anything? We uliona mtoto from kufungua shule, mtoto akiwa uhai, akiwa sawa, umemwona akiwa kwa moga?
The day I was to go on Thursday, tulikuwa kulinyesha sana. We had a wrong lane and some electrical poles fall in some houses. My phone didn't have battery, so I used my mom's phone, to call the school 6 in the morning. And my mom, we had a burial for our family member, just a distance from our home, like 2 kilometers from our home. My mom had to go because the family member is an aunt to her. And I was left here at home to take care of the responsibilities and milking the cows. Then around 10 in the morning, then they called back, and my mom demanded to speak with my son and asked him what is going on, what's the problem. The boy told my mom it's just the leg, and my mom told him, just pack your things, tomorrow me or your mom will come and pick you. And when my mom was to ask him, have you been taken to the hospital, the phone went off. My mom tried to call again, and they didn't pick my mom's call. So
Ilikuwa Thursday,
akakufa
Friday.
Yeah, he died on Friday 2 a.m. in the morning because I had a restless sleep. I woke up hiyo Friday usiku 2 a.m. ndio tuingie Friday morning. I didn't sleep since. I just walked around. I don't know. Some feeling I can't explain. And I went. I told my mom I need to milk for the cows so I can leave earlier and be able to come back with him earlier. And I told my dad, when we get to Keno, I'll call you so you can wait me to the stage where the matatu will stop, so we can go direct to Kenyatta. Okay. Which unfortunately didn't happen. I found his
body.
I found his lifeless body on a table in a mortuary, having a form in his mouth, which I don't know where it came from.
Guys, I have one question for the class teacher. After mwalimu ameona wazazi wameanza kuuliza hii story tunaona kwa mtandao, because hii story ilienda kwa news, ni nini inaendelea? Mwalimu kitu yenye alifanya, alisema wazazi hiyo kitu ina happen, hata kutaja jina ya mzazi. Alisema wanataka kuharibia shule jina, na immediately after parents started asking some questions, remove huyo madam kwa WhatsApp group. Sasa akakuwa amemtoa ndio. I don't know what happened. So for me as a mother and as a single mom, and I know she's a single mom, I would ask you, teacher, I don't know your name, but I've seen that in the WhatsApp group. What was the purpose for you to remove her from the WhatsApp group wakati wazazi wameuliza hii story? That is the question I have for you as a parent and seeing you like a mother. So mtoto alikuwa miaka ngapi?
He was to turn 15 next year, 31st March.
Okay, wakati mumeenda postmortem ya government ama ya private, mliambiwa mtoto alikuwa na shida gani? Although ulikuwa unajua venye ulimwona mochari alikuwa na shida ya mguu.
He had a blood clot in his leg. So
it seems so painful.
Sasa the rest I can't talk more kwa sababu there are those who are doing the investigation.
Okay.
And I'm hoping and I'm pleading with them, as I know they are parents as well. Money will never solve nothing.
Yeah.
But justice will always prevail. If even bribes will never end, but God will always stand in his gap. Those who are doing the investigation, wherever you are, God has given you that chance to speak for the dead who can speak for their justice or for their rights. And I know you are parents, because many of us, we have children. Even if it's not in the marriage, we have some outside there. If it would be their child that had gone through that, and they see the point, and they see the web of lies behind the tragic death, and maybe they are promised to be given some money. If it was their children, can they compare the life of the child with the money? I guess not. So I'm pleading with you who are doing with the investigation, because you know more than I know, and you have seen what you have listened to, the rise and the, I don't know what to call them, but you know better, and you know I'm not crazy. I know I am telling the truth. My child could be alive today if he was taken to a hospital. So I'm pleading with you, if you happen to find this video anywhere, please kindly stand for the right. A human soul is not like a goat soul or a cow soul. I'm just pleading with you, stand for the justice, because you can, maybe if you stand for the justice, even angels in heaven will know. And someday you may be in a situation that God will look upon you and see you stood for the right. You didn't take a side of lies. You exposed the lies. God will remember you in that situation and said, you saved one of my angels, and you made a woman's heart to have rest. So I don't have much to say now.
Guys, it's a very painful story. I'm sorry I made this story. Nilimpush tufanye hii story as she's grieving. Today is on date 3 na mtoto wake amezikwa like 4 days ago. Mtoto amepass this September, October. So akona less than 3 weeks. So nikamwambia wacha tufanye story sahi. Then I don't know who is watching. I don't know who can watch this story. Alicha tu madam, namba yake iko hapo kwa screen ama kwa comment section. Yani reach out to huyo mama if you have any way you can reach to her. Najua anahitaji vitu mingi sana kusaidiwa, kwa sababu pia if there is some investigation, if she will be somewhere needed, there is always whatever she needs. So kama unaweza mreach out kwa namba yake, umsaidie na vile utaweza, I'm very very grateful and I'll be like, nitafurahia sana kukuja kuona huyu mama kuna kitu alifurahia through the video we made. So, and about the school, I don't know the name. Njuri High School in Meru. I would ask the class teacher, how would you stay with the kid? Unaweza kaje na mtoto all that long? Mtoto amefura mguu, amegonjeka. Uko na namba za mzazi, uko na WhatsApp group. Kwa nini huko communicate to this mother? Umezaa watoto? Do you have children? I know, and I'm sharing this story because I know it will reach you. Uko na watoto? Are you a mother? Do you know the pain this mother is going through? Ameleta mtoto shule, amelipa school fees, amengangana, ule mtoto kila kitu iko sawa. Then ile simu anapokea ni kukuja kuona mtoto wake kwa morgue. And what pains me a lot, it's because you removed her in the group. Wakati hata hajasema kitu chochote ukamtoa. Anyway, kila kitu iko hapa duniani, itaishia tu hapa duniani. And I'll tell everyone that is watching, hata kama mtoto si wako, please take care of that kid. Hata kama mtoto si umemza, because that kid has a mother. And the mother has a dream with that child. Imagine bearing mtoto mwenye anafika 15 years, a very handsome man, God-fearing. Okay, it's so painful. I would say, namba yake iko hapo kwa simu. Kama huja subscribe, kindly subscribe to this channel. Like the video, share the video. Don't forget to leave a comment down there. Until next time, bye bye.